Start.
Stress is rampant nowadays. Which method do you use to handle stress?
Well, I use something known as power tapping. Now, power tapping has been uh, derived from something known as the meridian tapping procedure, developed by Dr. Roger Callahan way back in the 1980s. Now, this technique or this procedure has again been derived from energy psychology and the Chinese wisdom, where they use the meridian points to experience a release.
How does this technique help?
For that, we need to understand the dynamics of stress. Now, what is stress? If you understand, stress is our response to life situations. I would like you to understand. Now, stress is our response to life situations. There are so many situations in life, circumstances in life, which make us give a response or to which we respond. Now, if we respond or react or overreact to situations, then there is a fire alarm in the brain which goes on. It's a power switch. It's the natural protective mechanism of nature of the body. Now, if we respond, react, or overreact to situations with a lot of fear, with a lot of worry, with a lot of tension, anxiety, or these normal reactions that we give, this switch, known as the HPA axis, which is known as the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, goes on. Now, when this goes on, the body goes on a high alert. A high alert created by nature by pumping hormones like the adrenaline or the cortisol to get ready for the challenge. This is where you either fight the challenge or run away. This is where the sympathetic nervous system comes into action. It gets activated. It gives you power. It gives you power to handle the situation. It's a physical power that we get with adrenaline or cortisol. Now, our actual life situations are not such where we have to practically fight with someone or run away from a situation. We don't use our bodies or the power generated in the body to address these situations. And because we don't use them, what happens is the power which is being generated by the adrenalines or the cortisols stays in the body unused. Now we need to understand that normally nature has one more switch known as the parasympathetic nervous system switch. This parasympathetic nervous system normally relaxes or comes into the picture to relax the stress which is generated where the sympathetic nervous system is put into action. Now it has to soothe. After the stress is over, it has to soothe. The soothing part is done by the parasympathetic nervous system. Now in general life situations, we keep on facing so many challenges that the mind is constantly put on that alert mode. Either it's feeling insecure, there is some kind of worry, some kind of pressure, workload, tension, some fight, social problems, family problems. So the mind is always on the high alert. Now, this keeps the sympathetic nervous system on alert mode. It doesn't allow the parasympathetic to soothe the body or the mind. Now, this is where stress becomes a silent killer. Actually, this is where stress comes into the picture. And when this situation stays in the system for a long time, stress becomes responsible for so many psychological as well as pathological problems, diseases that the man finally goes through. What we do with power tapping is we tap on some of the selected meridian points, and while tapping with a particular system, it awakens the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, this is very important to understand. This awakens the parasympathetic nervous system, and thus the stress which needs to be released is released automatically. Now, it's not only the stress. When this sympathetic system is on its alert mode, even the emotions which are created in our mind, the insecurities, the fears, or whatever, these negative emotions are pent up. They are suppressed into the body, which again become very, very detrimental as far as the health of the person is concerned. So, tapping actually helps soothe the system, activates the parasympathetic, and that is how we handle stress with power tapping.
Is this not a placebo effect?
Well, it is not a placebo effect because when people started doing research on these complementary healing techniques, especially when they did the research on tapping, they realized that when one taps, there is an increase of hormones like serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin. Now, this was a direct proof that tapping actually creates a chemical change in the body. So, that is why it is not a placebo effect. There are people like Dr. David Feinstein. He has a very, very well researched website known as www.innersource.net. There are researchers like Dawson Church who have been doing a lot of research. That is why we can't say that it has a placebo effect.
If this is so, why is it not widely used in the world?
Well, it is not used widely in the world mainly because of the vast influence of conventional medicine. Now, in the last 100 years, conventional medicine has been so dominant in the world that a normal person will basically seek help from conventional medicine, then going to Ayurveda, then going to Chinese medicine, then going to homeopathy, Unani, or any other medical discipline, or even the complementary medicine which has surfaced in the last few years. So, this is one main reason why the normal person is not aware of these techniques. But thanks to internet, in the last few years, many people who are interested in handling stress, managing stress, or helping themselves from the hazardous effects of stress are surely trying to look out for these kind of complementary helpful disciplines. And I think in the last 10 years or 20 years, many people have been very aware of these new complementary systems that have emerged in the world.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.